thought that he was going to leave the pizza business. And he stepped down from Pizza Hut in 1980 and decided to try a whole bunch of different things. But in his heart, he's a pizza person. In a 1998 interview in the nation's restaurant news, Carney said, "I had no desire to get back into the pizza business. I never saw anything that was compelling enough to get back in." What he didn't expect, though, was that a friend of his would approach him about trying a new franchise venture, something called Papa John's. Carney thought, well, let's check out what this pizza company is all about. And when he tried Papa John's, he liked what he tasted. And he bought his first Papa John's franchise in 1994. Carney just didn't like the pizza. What he liked was how the company was being run, because it reminded him of his own company when he ran it. When I said this was bad for Pizza Hut, it was embarrassing. In 1997, he got involved in Papa John's promotional efforts. In their first national TV ad campaign, Carney appeared at a meeting of Pizza Hut franchisees. This was all fictional, of course. And then he announced, "Sorry guys, I found a better pizza." Pizza Hut was nonplussed. And it didn't help that Carney was so outspoken, especially about the quality of the pizza. He was quoted again saying, "Pizza Hut has great marketers, but customers are telling them that they don't have great pizza, so they have to fix that. In my opinion, they are better marketers than operators. They need to take a lot more care that each element is superior, use better ingredients, and make better pizza." It was at this point that Papa John's would embrace the tagline, "Better ingredients, better pizza," which was just a dig into Pizza Hut. By 2001, Carney had a piece of nearly 130 Papa John's restaurants and would plan to buy into even more of them moving forward. So the founder of Pizza Hut had switched loyalties and had completely bought in to the system that was being established over at Papa John's. Pizza Hut continues to change and grow. One of the things I see them online occasionally doing is kind of embracing their past, which appeals to me. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something that Pizza Hut does that I think is pretty interesting. It's called Book It, which is a reading incentive program that started in 1985. And with it, students who read books, according to a goal set by a teacher, in any time from October through March, are given Pizza Hut gift certificates, which allowed them to get a free one-topping personal pan pizza. And if your classroom read the most books, you got a pizza party. This program is beloved by many kids. It also gets some criticism who say that you're basically bribing kids with pizza or that it's a promotion for Pizza Hut. It is, but you got to read a book anyway. You might as well get some free pizza. Pizza Hut isn't going anywhere. They will continue to innovate, and technology-wise, they are trying to catch up. So I wouldn't ever count them out, especially with the power of Yum brands behind them and all the combinations of food you can get at Yum brand restaurant locations. Still, I do yearn for the old days of Pizza Hut. Whenever I drive by a shiny new Pizza Hut, I miss the mansard roofs. I keep hoping that they will bring them back and make them the standard. I also want them to change the interiors of the restaurants. I know that's wishful thinking, but food triggers a great amount of nostalgia in people. And for me, who grew up on a steady diet of different types of pizza, Pizza Hut was something special, mostly because I couldn't get it very often. And whenever I go back, the thing that's going to entice me isn't the fancy new locations or technologies at the table. It's that feeling, that reconnecting with the food of my youth and sharing that food with other people. So maybe if you're like me, you're yearning for something of your childhood. Maybe it's Pizza Hut that's going to push those buttons. Perhaps you're not going to get into the restaurant you want. It's not going to look the same. But if you close your eyes, take a bite of that pizza, just kind of think back. In your mind, you'll be there. And that ain't bad. Thanks for listening to the show. For more retro fun, you should drop by the website at retroist.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at twitter.com/retroist. The music you hear on the show is by Peachy. If you like what you hear, you should follow Peachy on Twitter. He's at twitter.com/peachypixel8. That's the word Peachy, the word pixel, and the number 8. Thanks to Metagirl for another great top 5 list. If you like top 5 lists, and we all do, you should follow Metagirl. She's at twitter.com/metagrrl. That's METAGRRL. Thanks to everyone who has been supporting the show over at Patreon. If you like the show and you can, please support the show on Patreon. You'll get member-only episodes, episode bonus tracks, and access to the Retroist Discord. You can find the Retroist Patreon at patreon.com/Retroist. I'd like to thank some wonderful people who've joined Patreon: Jason Ho and Danielle Crane. You're all wonderful people, and I'm really glad to have you aboard. If you can't support the show on Patreon and you want to help out the show, please go to wherever you download the show and give it a positive review. It really helps other people find the show. If you like The Retroist, you might like that I have a new newsletter that I send out every week. It's called The Act of Discovery. You can find The Act of Discovery at newsletter.retroist.com. The Act of Discovery is about trying to find stuff and the stuff you find while doing so. It's been a lot of fun and sort of runs from the retro to the modern. And if you like what you hear here, you might enjoy it. And I get to be in your inbox as well as in your podcast app. This will be the final episode of the regular season, and I want to thank everyone who has been along on this journey. I'm already planning the next season of the show, and we'll be posting information about that very soon. Everyone's been pretty wonderful. I'll probably throw out a couple of extra things before the new season kicks off, but I am planning a new season, and I should have information about that up soon. Thanks again for listening to the show, and I hope you have a great weekend.
It's very hip and it's no drag. For a buck, you get the bag.
This has been a Retroist production. Goodbye.